Hello everyone and welcome to Don't Be Bored and welcome to the first Star Wars Unlimited quiz. It's a pub quiz if you will. There's going to be rounds of questions and then I'll go over the answers in between. It's going to be focusing on the first 3 sets of Star Wars Unlimited to sort of focus in there, and well, there's going to be rounds such as missing values, subtitles, and game knowledge, of course. Each with 6 questions, so a maximum score of 30. And the first round, well, maybe a little easy, is game knowledge. So let's jump into it in question number 1. On turn 1, how many resources do you start with? Question number 2. How many hit points or health points does a standard base have? In set 1 there were rare bases included. There were also some in set 3, but specifically the ones from set 1, they all had the same number of health or hit points. But what was that value? How many copies of a single card, that's name and subtitle combination, are you allowed to include in a constructed Premier deck? In Star Wars Unlimited, how many different aspects are there? Now that's not combinations, it's just total number of aspects. And for those of you that dabble in the other modes, in Draft, how many packs will each player open? Well, there you have the first 6 questions. Hopefully an easy introduction into the quiz for everyone to get a few points under their belt. Don't worry, things are going to get a little trickier as we go through the quiz though. Now, let's go through the answers to see if you got them right. You're going to start the game with 2 resources. You always have to resource 2 cards. The standard bases, they have 30 hit points or health points. The rare bases, however, from set 1, they all had 25 health. You're allowed 3 copies of a specific card of name and subtitle in a constructed deck. There are 6 aspects that you can play around with in Star Wars Unlimited. And in Draft, each player will open 3 packs, and once you've done that, that's when you start the actual draft. So hopefully you have scored a chunk of points there. Now let's move on to round 2, which is definitely going to be a little bit harder, and it's subtitles. So let's jump in with question number 1. Which card has the subtitle Old Master? A tricky one it is there. And number 2, Dictated by Discretion. Again, these cards can be from any of the first 3 sets. The third one is the Might of the First Order. Maybe think a bigger, high-value card rather than a small one for that. Number 4 is Under Anakin's Command. Number 5 is Champion of Justice. And the last one, and I'll give you a little hint here, it is a leader this time, Faithful Friend. So there you have it, they are the 6, just giving you a little bit of time to maybe work out what the last one is, and let's jump into the answers. Well, Old Master was of course Yoda from set 1. Dictated by Discretion is the Client. Might of the First Order is the Finalizer. And Under Anakin's Command is Resolute. What a powerful ship and card that might be. Champion of Justice is Enfys Nest. In particular, it's actually the one from set 3, but you didn't need to specify. And last but not least, the Faithful Friend, that leader, is the Luke Skywalker leader from set 1. Literally from the starter set as well. So I thought I'd throw a leader in there just to maybe trip some people up. Hopefully you've got a couple of those. I tried to pick them where there was at least a hint towards what it was. It wasn't too ambiguous, though it was definitely going to be a harder round than round 1. Now let's move on to round 3, which is all about keywords. And in this, I'm going to read something out and you need to tell me either what word's blanked or what that ability is. So what keyword is this text for? When a unit attacks, heal 1 damage from your base. Number 2. When this unit is defeated or captured, your opponent collects its blank. Collects its blank. What is that blank though? Number 3. After you play this unit, it may ready and attack an enemy unit. What keyword is that text explaining? Number 4. Units in this arena can't attack your non-blank units or your base. What is that blanked out ability there? This unit gets +2/+0 while attacking. Again, this unit gets +2/+0 while attacking. What keyword is being described there? And finally, if this card is a resource, you may play it for its blank cost. Replace it with the top card of your deck. What was that then? So now you have sort of heard those abilities, those keywords. Now let's jump into the answers. The first one is, when this unit attacks, heal 1 damage from your base, and that is restore 1. If you said restore, you get half a mark. You get the full mark for restore 1. When this unit is defeated or captured, your opponent collects its bounty, is the answer to number 2. Number 3, after you play this unit, you may ready and attack an enemy unit, is ambush. Next up is, units in this arena can't attack your non-sentinel units or your base. Number 5, this unit gets +2/+0 while attacking, is raid 2. And again, for the full mark, you need raid 2, but if you've said raid, give yourself half a mark. And finally, it's smuggle. If this card is a resource, you may play it for its smuggle cost. Hopefully they weren't too hard and you have still managed to clock in some points in that round. Knowing your keywords is always going to be helpful in a game like this. Now let's crack on to round 4, and this is all about missing values. So there's a numerical answer to each of these questions. Effectively, I'll have blanked out part of it and you just need to tell me what number that is. So let's jump into it with the first question. Open fire. Deal blank damage to a unit, but how much damage? Number 2, seasoned shore trooper. While you control blank or more resources, this unit gets +2/+0. But how many resources do you need to control for that to happen? The Alliance Dispatcher. Action. Play a unit from your hand. It costs blank less. But how much cheaper is it? Number 4, Fell the Dragon. Defeat a non-leader unit with blank or more power. But what is blank? How much power do they need to have? Number 5, Repair. Heal blank damage from a unit or base. But how much do you get to heal? And last but not least, Guerrilla Attack Pod. It's got grit, but also a when played. And it is, if a base has blank or more damage on it, you can ready this unit. But how much damage do you need on the Guerrilla Attack Pod for it to come in ready? Now let's jump into the answers. Open fire allows you to deal 4 damage to a unit. The seasoned shore troopers, which I always think almost say stormtroopers, well, you need to control 6 or more resources for the unit to get the +2/+0. Alliance Dispatcher allows you to play a card from your hand for 1 less as an action. Fell the Dragon allows you to defeat a non-leader unit with 5 or more power. The Repair card allows you to heal 3 damage from a unit or your base. And lastly, the Guerrilla Attack Pod is readied if you have 15 or more damage on your base. Now let's move on to the final round, which is all about event cards. I'm going to give you the text, or most of the text, from the card. You just need to tell me what event card it is. So let's jump into them. Number 1. Search the top 7 cards of your deck for a vehicle and play it. It costs 5 resources less and enters play ready. However, you return it to its owner's hand at the end of the phase. What event is that? Number 2. A much shorter text. Defeat all units. But what event card is that? Number 3. Give a friendly unit +2/+2 for the phase. Then it deals damage equal to its power divided as you choose among any number of other units. Number 4. Choose an arena, ground or space and exhaust each unit in that arena. Number 5. Create 2 clone troopers. Again, a nice little short text on that one. And the last one, attack with 2 units, one at a time. So there you have it, those are the final questions, but what event cards were they? Well, let's find out. The one that allowed you to look through the top 7 cards of your deck and play a vehicle for a bit cheaper is Triple Dark Raid. What a fun card that is. The Super Laser Blast is what's going to defeat all units, and it really does mean all, yours included. Giving a friendly unit +2/+2 and then it dealing that power damage out, that is Overwhelming Barrage. Number 4, choosing an arena to exhaust all the units is Outmaneuver. Number 5, Drop In allows you to create 2 clone troopers. And last but not least, the thing allowing you to attack with 2 units, one at a time, is Outflank. So there you go, it's time to add up your total score. It will be a score out of 30, and don't worry, some of these were really hard questions, so you may be not expected to get, let's say, top marks in this. And, well, that about wraps us up today. Thank you very much for taking the quiz. Please do comment in the comment section below your score. How well did you do? And, of course, forward this quiz onto your friends and see if they can beat your score. And hopefully you can laugh at them and say you've done much better. If you like it, obviously hit the like button on all that sort of jazz. If this video does well, I'll probably look to do more Star Wars Unlimited quizzes in the future. So, if you like it, let me know, and until next time, have an unlimitedly good day.